You ready? All right, Phil. Good morning to you. It's Mike Yazina here of Minorcan Magic here in St. Augustine, Florida. A little cool out there this morning. It was 43 degrees. Wow. We've not had a freeze to date. We've not had a freeze. I've only seen a little frost, light frost, 2 times, and here it is, almost February. Remarkable. Anyway, I keep getting phone calls and emails daily from folks who, have issues with, learn how to make a net or what they need, this, that, and the other. But the one that got me the most was I had somebody from Texas who he ended up making him a net. We'll get into that in a bit, but his wife had some concerns about why did a handmade net cost so much more than one of these nets you can go buy offline or someplace. Well, quality. That's what I want to cover today is quality and workmanship that goes into a custom handmade net versus when you're buying a package that's good enough for what you want to do. If you're just a weekend warrior who wants to go out and catch bait or a few fish, that's all the net you need. You don't need to spend no big money on that's like going and buying the cheapest Kia you can buy versus the most expensive Lexus. I mean, it just depends on what you want, what you can afford. And well, let's get into talk about the quality, the pricing, why these things are expensive. Making the best thing you could use, you want to learn with nylon. You don't want to jump out there and buy Dacron and try to learn how to make, because you're gonna fail miserably. I'm gonna put this over here where you can see. That's a couple of different colors. This comes in multiple colors, but let's talk about the nylon first. I get my it's bonded. And you see that bonded film?
I'm gonna come in.
Yeah, you want to see that. You want to make sure you get it. It's twisted nylon, but it's bonded. This is not braided. This is twisted nylon. Comes in a 1 pound spool. I would suggest that you get number 4 to start. A pound spool will make a 7-8 foot net without any problem. If you're going to make a 10-foot net, you'd want to get 2 pounds. But anyway, that's the nylon. You're looking at probably, this is number 15 here. This is my tuck line. I had to order that in a spool of foot line. But anyway, this is number 15. You want to get number 4. Cost you about $12, $13. Okay, that's the cost of that. Now, if you're thinking about Dacron, it's a whole new ball game. This is Cortland Micron. This is a 2,500 yard spool of 30-pound test. This will make a 10-foot mullet net or an 8-foot shrimp net with no problems. I love this color. This is a rose, but it's called pink. But I love the color. That's a spool of Cortland Micron fly line backing. Retail $169 versus what I say 12 or 13. Anyway, this stuff's expensive. I buy it in large quantities so I get a better price. But anyway, I want to show you that. That's what we'll get into that in a minute. Now on the lead line, we're going into quality again. Most of these little store-bought nets are the little small diameter line that they use. No telling what kind of sinkers. Phil and I make all our own sinkers. And see how neat, how tight that is, how that's on that lead line? That's the way it should be. It's how snug. That's a mullet net sinker. See how smooth, how tight that is when you sew that on the net. and maybe one of these days I'm going to do a video again. I've done one showing you how to start them, but might do another one go in a little more detail. But that's the mullet net sinkers. Now I'm slide him out the way, and here's the shrimp net. See, a shrimp net's a bait net's going to take a smaller sinker because you got a smaller size mesh. And somebody called me about sinkers. Hey, look, if you live close to St. Augustine, you're welcome to come by here and you can use my mold. I'll help you, show you how to make your damn sinkers. But I don't make sinkers, and I just don't have the time to do it. Anyway, that's the shrimp net sinker. It's just much smaller, and it's the same way. It fits how snug. This is a 1/4 inch solid braid nylon. I get this in 600-foot spools. You're looking at like $73, I think, for 600 feet. If you go to a store somewhere, you go to a lot of places, I guess, different places probably sell it. You won't get it in this larger quantity unless you go to a fisherman's supply. But anyway, so with that said, that is that's part of the quality in making a good net. Now, for the top, the horn, all these nets you buy, they've got a plastic horn. This is a real cow horn. I haven't finished this. It's just been cut off. I've got to enlarge that hole a little bit. I drill a 5/16 diameter hole through here, and this will slide down through it, and you tie a knot. I've gone through that before. I've got to cut the groove around here yet, but this is raw. But I want to just show you that this is a real moo-moo cow.
Hold it steady for a second.
All right, you got a good view of that. I'm going to kind of rotate that around slowly where they can see. On the cow horn, they're not cheap. You're looking at probably $10 a piece, and I'm lucky. I'm lucky if I can get 2 horns and swivels out of a cow horn, because the end of it is solid. If you look around here, you can see the small diameter. This cow horn was about this much longer up here, probably 5 or 6 inches longer, and it was solid, useless. You'd have to cut some of them are fertile more than others. But anyway, that's what we use. Goes in the top. Now, the hand line, I like to use this is a hollow braid poly, 3/8 in diameter, which is easy on your hands. Doesn't tangle bad. Twisted poly or nylon will tangle something terrible. You throw it and it'll tangle and hang up on you. But this doesn't do that. This works really good. If you buy a good quality, I get this from Memphis Net and Twine. I get 600-foot spools. It's not near as much as the nylon. I don't know. It's $60 or something like that for 600 foot. But Memphis Net and Twine will sell you a piece this big if you want it. They'll sell you any length you want at a very reasonable price. Don't go to West Marine. They get $1 a foot for this. $1 a foot. That's ridiculous. But anyway, that's West Marine. Okay, now we're talking about the quality stuff that goes into a handmade net. Now let's talk about the actual net. And I'm going to show you something. This is a blue. That's braided Dacron. That is braided Dacron. That is.
I'm going to zoom in.
Yeah, the size of this mash is just perfect for mullet. This mullet net. Mullet's found in all the oceans of the world, by the way. Anyhow, there's 90-something different varieties of mullet, believe it or not. But anyway, you got that, Phil?
Yep.
All right, this is a handmade net. This is a knitting needle. This is a mesh board. They're just spools of material. So there's no seams in this net to come apart. It's a continuous circle. We go round and round and round. And you're looking at me. I can't say how long it's going to take you. Obviously, it's going to take learning. It's going to take you a lot longer to make you a net, but don't give up. Stick with it. You know, you're going to bumble around and make mistakes. You know, just keep going. You'll get it. And but anyway, you're looking probably on an 8-foot net, complete, ready to go fishing, probably between 45 and 50 hours. That's the time. I ain't counting the material. That's the time going into to make it for me to make a net. Now I'm going to show you something right here. I did want to go over this one more time before we wrap this up. But Phil, you got a good look at this. That's the Dacron. Now I want you to kind of zoom in here because I'm gonna tie these last 3 meshes, and when you finish your row, I want to show you, you know, how to tie in to start the next. Continue on that circle. Yeah, this is just a quick walk in the park here. Get going. All right, now I'm finished. That is completion of this circle. We're going to continue this circle on till we get to the end of this thing. This net right now is a little over 4.5 foot. It's going to be to 8. All right, I'm going to pull the line off the mesh board. All right, I'm going to set this here. Now, here's the 2 ends. You got to try to get a good close-up of this if you can, Phil. I'm going to do this in super slow motion because you really need to see this. This is important. This is as important as that first row. You know, you heard me talk about the first row, the importance of getting them 41 mashes, and when you tie in, this is the line, and this is the tail. When you tie these two, that makes 42. All right, when I tie this together, I'm completing this circle, and we're going to continue on. The next row is going to be a widening row, by the way. Okay, all right, you see what I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to catch these 2 lines, and I'm going to, you want this last knot to be the same size as these other mashes. That's where the importance comes in. So what I'm going to do, I want you to see what I'm going to take these, keep these together. I'm just simply going to tie a knot. I'm going over to my left. I'm going to throw it over, and I'm going to come in between to tie the knot. That's simple enough. Then you reach down, you catch the tail, and you pull it through. Can you see that? A good look at that, Phil?
Yeah, just hold it steady.
Yeah, hold that. See, that's a knot. That is a knot. Going to be a knot here in a little bit because when I tie it. Now, the importance here is getting this the same size. You got to understand, I don't have a problem with this because I've done so damn many of them, but there's a way you can use your mesh board, you know, to come in here like this and tie this thing directly behind it. You want that net, the knot off the net up on the leading edge of the board. But I'm going to show you in a minute after I tie this knot what I'm going to do to make sure that I have it correct. You got that?
Yep.
All right, I'm fixing to tie this. I can look at this thing. I know where it's got to be. Again, how many damn things have I done? Okay. Now, I'm not pulling that tight. I'm not pulling that tight because I can slip or slide it one way or the other. I'm going to come down here like this. I'm going to put my mesh board in between here. See, I got to pull it back just a little bit. I can take in my fingers and slip that knot just a little bit. Get it come just a little teeny bit. Now, all right, Phil, get a close up of that. See the leading edge of that mesh board? That knot from the previous row, see where it's at? Right on the leading edge. It's not over the leading edge. It's not on this side of the leading edge. It's half and half. Half of the knot's on the board, half of it's off. That's perfect. That's what you want to see. Got that?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now I'm going to just take and gently snug that. I want that knot tight. I'm going to check it again. I'm going to make sure if I've got to pull it a little bit. It's important. Okay. That's done. I'm ready. to continue on making this net. Now, what you're going to do after you've completed that circle, completed that row, you're going to take your board and you're going to come underneath your line. This is your line off your needle, and I'm going to slide right up to that tail. You got that, Phil?
Yep.
You see where I've got it now? I'm gonna take and tie my first mesh using the Flying Dutchman. I'm gonna reach up there, catch that thing, and we'll pull it down. Can you see how even that is? You get a view of that?
Hold it steady. Yep.
See where that mesh starting that next row? It's right up against that board. It's right even with that knot, right? That's what you want to see. Now I'm gonna tie it. Okay. Now oops. I better get that out of the way. Now I'm ready to. I'm gonna just do one widening, then we're gonna terminate this thing. I got a few to go here to 3, 4, 5, and I want to get this thing where I can wrap this thing up for the day. I went on enough. I think I got my point across to you. I hope. I understand. Okay, I'm to the point now. I'm ready to put in a widening. Can you see where that widening is? You get a good view of that. This is repetitive, folks. This is stuff I've showed you over and over. But anyway, I just
Okay.
All right. Now I'm gonna put in this. Come right in between. You can see that needle going right in between those two meshes. And I'm going to come down, and you don't pull it down. You just snug it right to where you want that thing just taut, because that's a mesh. Then I'm going to throw a circle. I'm going to double tie this. I'm going to go through once, I'm going to come back, go through it again. You have to double tie your widenings. That's repetitive stuff. Now, what I want to, in order to keep this thing from getting too big or too small, see how I tilt that gauge? Then I tie that knot, and that keeps that thing pretty and straight. I'm just going to tie one more, and I'm going to throw this down. We're going to terminate this thing. I think I've got my point across. Quality versus I don't have monofilament stuff. I ain't got nothing against it. I'm not talking it down. I just don't make monofilament nets. I never have. I own a bait net out there that's Phil and I go over to the beach. We like to catch finger mullet and feed the
birds.
The birds. The poor seagulls are always hungry, and the great blue herons and the big white small egrets. The little egret, they'll eat a finger mullet that big. I don't know how they get it down, but they manage. Well, I think we've covered this thing. If there's any questions, don't hesitate to, all my information, we've done over 50 of these things. And this is Mikey Zen of Menorcan Magic. My email address is online, or it could be Usina Mike, USINAMIKE @gmail.com. That's one. The other one is Menorcan Magic, spelled with an M-E or M-I. And phone number is area code 904-217-7974. Like I said, don't hesitate to, if I can help you in any way, but don't give up. Don't give up. You'll make it. Just keep plugging away at it. And I guess, Phil, you got anything to add? Okay, I guess with that said, we'll terminate this till the next time. I hope I got my point across, but you understand the time involved and the expense in a handmade net versus one that's made out of panels sewn together. That's why they're more expensive. With that said, I'm going to shut up. Okay, till the next time.